Welcome to Video Rental, your retro movie hub. Join us as we rewind through the iconic films of the 70s, 80s, and 90s gems. From cult classics to blockbuster hits, and even some infamous flops. We're covering it all. So grab some popcorn, get cozy, and let's dive into the wonderful world of retro cinema together. Doug, how we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Derek?
Well, I'm doing better now that we're going to talk about this movie because I rewatched it, and ever since then I haven't been able to sleep. My mind has just been turning over all of the theories.
I was like I was like, okay.
It'll do
So
that.
finally we're going to have the catharsis. We're going to get it all out.
Get it out.
Definitely.
Spit it.
On today's episode, we're going to be covering The Shining, 1980. So I'm going to go ahead and read the plot. A family heads to an isolated hotel for the winter, where a sinister presence influences the father into violence. At the same time, his psychic son sees horrifying foreboding from both the past and the future.
That was a tongue twister.
Who wrote that
It was.
thing?
For both.
That was right off of IMDb. Well, Doug, let's start with you. When was the first time you saw The Shining?
Oh, geez. I probably saw parts of it, but it was probably later up into the 90s. Maybe I saw like the TV edit. So
yeah.
This one had a lot more in it than I remember.
Because you were what, like 5? Were you 5?
Yeah, I was 5 when
Yeah.
it came out.
Yeah, TV edit. They had to take out room 237.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Well, and because I've actually seen it on TV as well. I think what they did is they did the whole, I think they call it pan and scan, where it zoomed in like straight to her face or whatever.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, and,
And
like, and
only-
then when they hugged, it was like showing her back.
Yeah, that's the only parts they would show because I've
Gotcha.
seen different edits of it. But Derek, when was the first time you saw The Shining?
So I want to say the first time I saw this was sometime during my middle school years, and I was over at a friend's house, and we were having a sleepover with some buddies, and we had just finished a long session of like GoldenEye on N64, and
Classic.
it was getting late. I mean, it was like probably 11 o'clock or so, and somebody was like, well, let's watch a movie. And of course, you know, when you're 14 years old, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's never too late. And I remember putting in The Shining. Somebody, the friend I was staying at, they had it on VHS. But I didn't make it all the way through.
Right.
And it wasn't because I was scared. It was just because I was just so dead tired.
The Mountain Dew, like, run out.
So I remember parts of it.
Yeah.
And then sort of semi-conscious, like waking up through part. But then, you know, I missed most of it. So it was one of those films that instantly grabs you in the beginning
Yeah.
and just holds your attention. But that was my first incident with it. And those early scenes are unforgettable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
especially the boy's vision in front of the mirror soon after he has his first episode. You know,
Yeah.
But I rewatched it recently in preparation for this, and watching it as an adult is a completely different experience.
I
'cause
agree.
You do not appreciate everything
I agree. Yep.
until you're an adult and you can see some of the multi onion layers.
Definitely.
What about you?
Yeah, you know, I honestly don't remember the first time I really saw this, if I even saw the whole thing. I mean, it was definitely, if I did see it, it was definitely a TV edit, of course. But it could have been later in life. It could have been maybe even like 10 years ago when I first saw it. Honestly don't remember. But I definitely say, I'll go ahead and say I think I appreciate it more now than I did when I, first saw it. I think it was just one of those movies I was like, I don't really care when I first saw it. I was just like, it's just not my style of movie, I guess. I mean, I love horror movies, but it's just, I don't know. I was so used to like, Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers and all those.
Yeah,
This
it's
isn't
not the
that kind of
slasher
movie.
type of movie.
This
It's
isn't.
psychological for sure.
Yeah.
So, but this was one of those movies that you knew of
Mm-hmm.
because it's so ingrained in other media and pop culture. Like everybody's seen "Here's Johnny."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows
That face
what
through the
that's
door
from.
and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I think it's even in The Simpsons, like the
Oh.
Simpsons riffs on.
Yeah, they had a Treehouse of Horror of that. Oh, yeah, that was so
You know,
funny.
and there are certain elements of the movie, like the carpet in the Overlook Hotel. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they actually used that in Toy Story in Sid's house.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't here, but it kept bunching up under the chairs. Remember, he had that piece.
Yeah, and then there are pieces of that movie like the twins come play with us.
Red rum is everywhere.
Red rum.
How did I didn't get that as a child. What's red rum?
Yeah.
You see all the red liquid. Okay, is it supposed to be blood or is it actually rum? Was it red rum? You know,
Yeah.
until you see her, watch it now, and you know as you're older what it is because you can know it's backwards. But
Yeah. There's a scene from Ready Player One,
Oh, yeah.
and I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing, where they actually go to the Overlook Hotel and they sort of go into the ballroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I knew that
I think that's what reignited this movie for me.
Really?
Was Ready Player One.
And I think there's actually in the original Twister, when they go to the drive-through movie
Yeah,
theater,
it's playing
and
on the theater.
It's playing on
Yeah,
the
'cause
drive-through.
the axe is going through the door.
The tornado's hitting the screen as he's saying, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So like I knew even way back then
Yeah.
when I saw Twister, I was like, oh, that's The Shining, but I'd never really appreciated that
Yeah.
movie.
Definitely.
So it's kind of one of those that's so iconic and it's ingrained in
always
culture
been
and
there.
in media, and so many directors have riffed off of it
Definitely.
or referenced it in their work that it's inescapable. Mm-hmm. And so
You know, it hit me when we were. What was the last movie? The Alien movie when Dave was playing into Entrance into Valhalla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first thing they play is the Volkswagens driving up the side of the mountain. I'm like, oh, okay. So that gives that a whole new meaning.
All right, Derek, do you want to read us some vitals on the movie?
Yep. So, movie came out on June 13th of 1980. And you'll have to fact check me on this, but I think also Empire Strike Back came out in 1980.
It did. Yep. Yeah.
What an amazing year that would have been.
I don't know what
both of
month, but
those.
yeah.
Probably May.
So Derek, I added something new that IMDb top 250 movies.
Yeah.
This is where they scored it.
So IMDb scores this number 66 of their 250 top films.
Yeah.
I can't imagine another horror film getting higher than it, except maybe Alfred Hitchcock's. What's the one where they go to the hotel, Mrs. Bates?
Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah. I don't know why that was so hard to get out.
Well, and you know what number one is, right, on IMDb? It's Shawshank.
Is it?
Shawshank is,
Well, I
not,
could
is their
definitely
number
see
one.
that
Yeah.
one.
You know, I can't outlive the whole Psycho thing. Norman.
What are you looking at, Fuzzy Britches?
Norman Bates, Norman Bailey.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
So, ranked pretty high there. And then IMDb has a score of 8.4, which is high, but actually I would consider it to be higher. Tomato meter, the critic score is 84 and the audience score was 93, so a little bit of a discrepancy there. The budget for the film was a lowly $19 million.
Slowly.
Yeah.
And one thing while we're here that I heard about, the filming of this was excruciating for the actors because Stanley Kubrick made them do hundreds of takes for some scenes to the point of where they were almost like ready to quit.
Yeah. That's
Really?
that's how that
Yeah.
was his style of doing things. Yeah. He was, I guess, what do you call it, a perfectionist?
Well, like
Yeah.
the scene where the cook is feeding the little boy ice cream.
Yeah.
And he's explaining the concept of The Shining. I think they recorded that over 100 times.
Yeah.
And the stairwell scene where
Could you
she's
imagine
swinging
that
the bat.
little kid, like he's sitting there, like, how hard was
Yeah.
it to keep his focus?
Derek, do me one favor. Grab that key right beside Starscream right there.
Okay.
I'll show you what that is.
That's the 237 room key.
Oh, you see the red? No, the red key.
Red, right in front of you.
Right in front of you there. Yeah. See, 237.
Overlook, yeah.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it was a square. Did you notice that?
Was it a square?
Yeah, it was just a square tab,
Oh,
rectangular tab.
I don't know. I think I found that off like Temu or something. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I just got to have that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek. Go.
So $19 million. I don't know what the actors were paid individually, but
I think they
Stanley-
said Jack was like 5.
yeah,
I think
Stanley Kubrick just
that's
got blood out of a turnip on that one, making them do that many takes. But the movie made a box office of over 47 million, so that's a pretty good payday, I guess, for 1980. $1 million ain't what it used to be, though.
No.
But still, that's a pretty good turnaround. Runtime of 2 hours and 26 minutes, and I have heard that the American version is longer, and there's several deleted scenes as well.
There are.
I haven't seen the extended versions with the deleted scenes put back in.
I don't know if they've come out with a version.
There's also an alternate ending.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
Yeah, I have. Well, I've read a lot up on this movie a lot. So.
You have to enlighten.
Yeah,
those of us that
there's actually there's a deleted scene, and actually you cannot actually find footage of it because Stanley was such a perfectionist when it came to this movie. He believed that his movie was perfect, that no scenes needed to be added back in, so he burned a lot of the film.
Wow.
Like all the delete after he got done cutting what he wanted to cut, he burned a lot of things. And I'll actually show you here.
Isn't that kind of like George Lucas with the original cut of Star Wars? Like he still retains that, and because he doesn't want it to get out since he's done his updates.
And so the only thing that actually exists are pictures. Like you can,
Okay.
there's a
That's
shiny,
the hospital scene.
Yeah.
where the hotel owner comes back.
Yep. That's the original ending, and people hated the ending when they screened it and
that
stuff.
one was.
Yeah, this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
So maybe we can save that for the end.
Yeah.
But-
Either way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Runtime, 2 hours and 26 minutes. I already mentioned that, but just for repeat. And then, of course, the movie's rated R. The tagline, a masterpiece of modern horror. So even way back then, they knew the greatness of this movie.
Oh yeah. Well, this movie actually did not do well in theaters.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it made 47 million, but critics actually hated it back then. It didn't do the greatest. It actually, you know the Razzies, like the Razzie
Yeah.
Awards? It actually won a lot of Razzie Awards because a lot of people hate it. It became a cult
Classic.
classic later on.
Yeah.
I'd say what was it? His wife won the Razzies.
Yeah, well, Jack was too. Jack and her both won Razzies, and Stanley did too.
I thought Jack did a great job.
I mean, I think they all did a great job. But
yeah.
His wife, she was like, talk about. Okay.
Well, I know one person who hated it, and that was Stephen King,
Oh yeah.
because it diverted a lot from the book. Now, I haven't read the book, but this is just based on comments that I've heard and things that I've read, and that Stanley Kubrick made some pretty drastic changes from the book. And in fact, Stephen King went back like in the 90s and made his version.
Yeah,
and it was terrible.
The TV show, like
Yeah.
they did like a mini series. It was like 3 or 4 parts mini series, and it was actually closer. It was actually close to the book as you could get, but a lot of people says it's terrible. That mini series, the acting's terrible, and
So Stanley Kubrick totally felt vindicated after that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
All right, so the cast, of course, we've already mentioned a few of these. Jack Nicholson, he plays the role of Jack Torrance, who's the main protagonist / antagonist of the film. Of course, you know him from classics such as Easy Rider, The Last Detail, Chinatown, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great film right there. Terms of Endearment. My personal favorite Jack Nicholson role of all time is Batman 89 when he plays the Joker. Few Good Men, also a great movie. Hoffa, Wolf, Mars Attacks, and The Departed.
Wolf was a great movie. I liked it.
I hadn't seen it in forever, so I couldn't tell you if it still is a good movie or not.
I thought it was good.
So you gotta give it to Jack Nicholson on this one. This is probably his most memorable and iconic role. I think he's absolutely phenomenal in this as a deranged man.
His look. It's just his look.
Man.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine anybody else playing that role because he just nails it.
Have you guys seen his son? His son looks just like him. His son's in these new horror movies called Smile. I've never seen them, but I've heard about them.
Yeah,
and basically it's something about like a demon possesses people and they like start smiling and it's weird. I don't know, but there's a scene where Jack Nicholson's son is possessed by a demon and he smiles and it's literally a spitting image of him.
Have the same Widow's Peaks hairline.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. He's got the same smile and everything.
Playing his wife, Miss Torrance, Wendy, is Shelley Duvall, who was also in the movie Annie Hall. And if you remember the movie Popeye, she's Olive Oil.
Robin Williams.
And who could forget that great 90s piece of pop culture, Suburban Commando, also featuring Hulk Hogan and Christopher Lloyd.
Yep.
Preston's not here today, but he and I were talking about that movie the other day, how it's terrible, but it's one of those movies that you remember if you're from that era. And so we had a good laugh about that movie. One of the taglines was something like, "This is the 90s, man. We're going to sue you." Yeah. Anyway.
Picks up the dragster. Yeah.
Danny Lloyd plays little boy Danny in the film. He was in another movie, Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel
Yes.
to...
Have you seen it?
I have not, but you catch up with Danny later on.
Yeah, it's like 30 years later.
And he still has his shine ability, but he's like a nurse, and he helps people who are dying and on their deathbed to sort of die in peace.
Pass on, pretty
and
much.
he revisits the Overlook.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I actually absolutely love it. The whole thing with Dr. Sleep is they took elements from the book and the movie to make it to get like Stephen King actually had something to do with this.
Oh, okay.
So there's elements from the book and the movie. And I've actually got the director's extended cut like on Prime. Like I bought it. They were having like a $3 sale. And so I bought it. And it's amazing because it's also about there's these people that have powers as well. And they're hunting people that have like The Shining. And they suck. Basically, it's kind of weird. They kind of suck the souls out of all these people to live forever.
That's what Shang Tsung does in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Your soul finish him.
So, but I highly, highly recommend watching Dr. Sleep. It's really, really good.
All right, there you go. Yeah, y'all can follow up with that later on. Then we've got Scatman Carruthers, who plays the hotel cook, and he has a significant role in the movie. He has 215 credits in movies, television, music, voiceovers. For those of you that remember the old Hanna-Barbera Hong Kong Phooey, the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, he was the voice for that. And, of course, if you're a child of the 80s and you love Transformers, you know he was also the voice of Autobot. So his voice still speaks. What did I say?
Oh, you just said Autobot.
Autobot.
No. You're
Jazz,
good.
One of the Autobots.
No, you're good. You're good.
Philip Stone is also in this. And do y'all remember what role? It was he the hotel manager that Jack Nicholson meets with?
I think so, yeah.
In the office in the beginning?
I believe so. Yeah. The cast wasn't huge in this.
Right.
So I kind of just...
Maybe it's either him or he's like the bartender.
Yes, because
he was
I'm struggling.
We'll have to look that up.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
We don't do research.
Philip
here.
Stone, we do research. It's just sometimes this stuff comes up.
I need to really start writing the characters' names on here.
He was also in A Clockwork Orange, A Lord of the Rings, not the Peter Jackson version, 1978 animated version. He was in the Flash Gordon movie. Boy, that's instantly forgettable.
He was the guy that originally killed his family in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
The one that was in the bathroom.
He's the butler. Jeeves.
Yeah.
The one in the bathroom there he was talking. And you remember him in Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was also in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
No, I don't remember.
He was like English general or something?
Yeah.
British general, whatever.
As we already mentioned, Stephen King had a lot to do with the screenplay here. In fact, The Shining is based off of his book, and Of course, we know that when Stanley Kubrick got the rights for the movie, he made some drastic departures, probably for the better, I would say. I haven't read the book, but it's hard to improve on the changes I think that he makes in the movie. He makes it stronger. And sometimes things that work in a book don't necessarily work well on screen. And Stanley Kubrick was also joined by Diane Johnson, who helped him to craft the screenplay. The movie was produced, of course, by Stanley Kubrick and Jan Harlan. And then the music. Let's talk about the music for just a second, because the music is eerie, which you would expect in a horror movie. A lot of dissonance,
Yeah.
like violin strings,
Yeah.
screeching. You mentioned the song that plays at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of funeral dirge or something from the ancient.
Yeah. It's like the entrance into Valhalla, I think. I can't
Well, would you guys say that the music is almost like I'm going to say it's almost like a character of the movie.
Oh yeah,
Like if
Well, I
it
mean,
wasn't
that-
for the music, I don't think it would be what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the music, and then toward the end of the movie, when all hell breaks loose and the chase is going on in the maze outside, and the music really takes over then, and you can almost hear like chanting. It's like it takes on like some sort of Gregorian chant or something in the background, and you almost get the feeling like all of the souls that are, or the demons that are trapped in the
In the
Overlook
Overlook.
are crying out, and
Yep.
it's just it's kind of up there with the Jaws soundtrack, you know, in terms of setting the horror vibe.
Right.
And
Yep.
the music is really, really strong here.
One thing, sorry, Digger. One thing I will tell you about the book. You know, we were just talking about Stephen King and everything. The major difference between the book and the movie is the ending.
Yeah.
In the book, the hotel burns
Burns down. That's right.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest differences.
Which is interesting, and I'll just say this while we're on it, because with the hotel burning down, it's like you have an end to the cycle of evil that takes place there.
Yeah.
I like the change that Stanley Kubrick made, where the hotel lives on,
Yeah.
so that the cycle of evil can continue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why when they were when Jack goes into the bathroom and he's cleaning him off and he recognizes him. He's like, "Oh, you were the caretaker here."
Yeah.
And he was saying his daughters tried to burn the hotel down. Did you catch that?
It's kind of a little
nod to it.
nod to that.
Yeah.
Another thing about the production and the direction of Stanley Kubrick, I think this was the first film that used like the Steadicam,
Yes.
where they actually attached the camera to the cameraman and he could walk behind them. That's how you get all those amazing shots of Danny when he's riding his big wheel.
Oh yeah.
And the track through the maze.
The maze. Yeah.
And it's just taking the camera
shaky
off of a
cam.
dolly or off of a stationary position and attaching it to a cameraman so they can walk. And that was like a revolutionary thing in 1980, I guess, because the technology allowed them to get the camera small enough.
Yeah. They didn't need a track laid down
where they could
and-
do that.
Yeah.
And it was almost like it was on a gimbal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pictures, behind the scene pictures of them wearing it. I mean, it's literally like they strap it onto their shoulders and they're holding it
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. And this was like the first or one of the first movies that employed that technique, which gives it gives it a whole new level of immersion. Like you're really in it. You're in the scene like first person.
Yeah.
So, but that music, I failed to mention, that music was composed by Wendy Carlos, who also worked on Clockwork Orange and Tron, and Rachel Elkind.
Yeah.
Filming locations took place in Oregon, Montana, Colorado, California, Florida, and Joliode, England. I heard that when Stephen King got the idea for The Shining, he and his wife visited a hotel in Colorado called the Timberline, I think is what it was called. It was an actual hotel.
Well, I think that's what they use. I could be wrong about this, but I think isn't that what they use for the exteriors? Like when the
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, it's a helicopter going around the hotel on the
yeah.
outside. I think that's what they
he
used.
said that he and his wife went there and visited on, I think it was October the 30th. And like the next day, the hotel was going to shut down for the winter season.
Wow.
And it was just he and his wife that were there. They're like just maybe a handful of other guests. And that's where he got the idea of like, man, this place would be so creepy in the
Yeah.
dead of winter if you were stuck here. But
Yeah, that giant of a place, man, that would be creepy.
but the
it-
locations are awesome. The seclusion
Yeah.
is a big part of the hotel's draw, but yet there's like a danger associated with that. I know that one thing that a lot of people who are like super fans of this movie, they have watched and studied the track of the movie and how people move, and they've made blueprints of the
Yeah.
different floors of the Overlook. And apparently there's a lot of impossible rooms.
Well, especially the office of the manager or whatever
Yeah.
his office. They say that when you go in there, there's a window in the back there that leads to supposedly outside, but that if you go back where they're walking, that's like a hallway.
Yeah.
So they're saying a lot of it just doesn't make sense.
Deep dive. We went
Well,
deep on
and
that.
I don't think that was an oversight. Some people say, well, that's just an incongruity or like they messed up.
Yeah.
But if you know Stanley Kubrick, there's nothing accidental in his movies. Like every little detail has meaning and another layer. And so I think what it lends itself to is the maze-like structure of the hotel
hotel.
itself,
Yeah.
which is a picture of the maze
outside.
which isn't in the book but was added
Right.
by Stanley Kubrick, which is also like a riff on the maze of
Your mind.
Jack Nicholson's mind,
Right.
like getting lost and
And then they have the
losing touch with
miniature in the
reality.
house. I completely forgot about him having the miniature in the house.
Yeah,
And the way he's looking down in it. And then they keep zooming up on the center. And then you see Wendy. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that was very hard to do because they had to
imagine.
overlay footage on top of that
Yeah.
maze.
Yeah.
They said it was very hard to do. Well, you guys know that they built that hotel, right? That's all a set.
Yes.
The entire thing is a set.
so they built it.
Except for when they're flying.
The
over.
exteriors
So, yeah, the exteriors are real.
are real, but the
Interior.
interiors, the room, that's all like soundstage.
It's all a set.
Yeah.
Every bit.
So who designed that carpet? I wonder where they got that symbol.
I don't know. I've never really.
I don't know, but I think the movie is set like in 1975 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but when you watch it, there's like a timelessness to it because you see it during different eras, right? You see it during the early 1920s.
Which the whole that oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
get
So anyway, and the way the movie starts off with these filming locations, you get those helicopter shots of
Yeah.
these beautiful vistas of the American West, the Rockies. You know, they're in their little yellow bug,
Yeah.
traveling across the landscape to get
The
there.
camera starts out going over the lake.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just awesome.
The movie was produced by Warner Brothers. And when I went to go back and watch it again, I thought I could watch it on HBO Max, and it wasn't on there since it's a Warner Brothers movie. I actually had to rent it off of Amazon to watch it. So
I think because I wrote down Warner Brothers because there was like 5 other production companies attached to it.
okay.
So I just wrote down Warner Brothers. But I actually Doug's got it. That's how he watched it. I've actually got the 4K
Oh, do you?
of it. I got some gift cards for my birthday, so I kind of been
okay.
buying some 4K stuff of old movies.
He's
just
making
trying to,
the swap from DVD.
well, I'm not.
Blu-ray,
I'm still
4K.
keeping all my stuff, but I just I'm curious about what they're doing to these old movies to
Yeah.
see what they do to them. And it looks amazing on 4K. I mean, it came with a Blu-ray, so I know that's how Doug watched it. But it looks amazing. It looks beautiful, honestly, on 4K.
Nice.
You know how? Because I know sometimes with old movies when they enhance it, it doesn't look the
Looks
greatest.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we've already mentioned the director many times now, Stanley Kubrick. And man, look at this resume. He's really directed some classics. Spartacus. I am Spartacus.
I hadn't seen that.
Great movie.
Ever.
2001 Space Odyssey, which is touted by many as the greatest sci-fi movie of all time. Personally,
Is it though?
I would disagree with that because the ending is so indecipherable. However, I could see
innocuous,
how
yes.
people can say that, and I respect people's position on that. It does have some iconic things in it. You know, the monolith, HAL 9000.
Yeah.
It's the baby that everybody's like, huh?
I will admit I've never seen it.
You've never seen 2001?
No, I've never seen
You really
Who
need to
are
see
you?
it.
Oh.
You really need to see it. But the last 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, it doesn't. I don't think anybody knows what it means.
And I think they purposely, Stanley Kubrick, he did
Well,
it on
yeah.
purpose.
It's an acid trip. It really is, like the last 30 to 40 minutes.
I've always heard when it comes to that movie, like the visual effects in it are just like stunning. Like they hold up to today. And people were like, how did he do that stuff back then? Mm-hmm. Back in the, what was it, late 60s, early 70s he made that? How'd they do that?
And of course, if you're given to conspiracy theories, most people say that 2001 was like a rough draft for the moon landing.
So stupid.
Because there's a lot of people out there that say that Stanley Kubrick
The one that filmed the moon landing.
the moon landing on a soundstage
In Hollywood.
as fake propaganda to get NASA.
So, Doug, did you
his
watch
back.
that Room 237 documentary?
No.
Is it on Prime? I think it's on Prime.
It should be.
It's insane. There's like 4 or 5 different like 4 or 5 people that tell these their conspiracy theories
About The Shining?
about The Shining.
I'll have to watch it
and
now.
it's insane. Some of these
And
theories.
they
watched it too?
say that one of the big conspiracy theories is that this movie, The Shining, is connected to the faked moon landing, which Stanley Kubrick supposedly shot. But anyway, it's a
Shining.
deep rabbit hole.
okay,
Like,
yeah.
so anyway, 2001 Space Odyssey. If you haven't seen it and you love sci-fi, you do need to see that
At least once.
just to say, yeah, okay, I've tasted, and here's what I think.
Because it's
about it.
referenced everywhere.
yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Clockwork Orange, another strange one. It's been a long time since I've seen that
Yeah,
one.
same here.
Full Metal Jacket. Wow. The first hour of that
First
movie,
hour of the movie.
the boot camp
has
with
lasted
Vincent
forever.
D'Onofrio and
It's two
Arlie
different- it's
Ermey.
two different movies.
Yeah, it feels like two different movies spliced together. But that first hour is like the most iconic boot camp scene of all
yeah.
time. And the
Talk
everything about that, the scripting, the acting,
Taking
the
Arlie to another level
yeah.
there.
Full Metal Jacket is amazing.
And I think I've only actually ever seen that on TV, so I'm probably missing a lot just from seeing it off TV.
Yeah, when you watch that first hour of the movie, you're going to feel like you need to go take a shower because all of F-bombs and expletives.
Dude.
And the thing is, Arlie Ermey wasn't on script. He was just making that up. He was
Hey, what-
improvising
Yeah.
all
He
of
was an
his
actual-
put downs and all his commands.
He was an actual like general or something.
He was
wasn't
actual
He
Marine
was a Marine.
drill sergeant.
drill
a
sergeant.
drill
That's
sergeant.
right.
Yeah. And then Eyes Wide Shut, which I haven't seen, and I
I have
think that's got Tom Cruise in it, doesn't
Tom
it?
Okay.
Cruise and
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
Weird.
Listen, yes, okay. I
seen it.
I tried watching
Weird.
it a couple years ago. I think because I was listening to podcasts and this was one of the movies they were talking about. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I couldn't finish it. It was
Really?
just so out there
Man,
and
it's-
just weird. So that was actually Stanley's last movie.
Gotcha.
Talk
besides
about
Wide Shut.
pouring a little acid in your brain.
Yeah, it was just out
Well,
there.
that's the way you're going to think about 2001 Space Odyssey. When you see the last hour of it, you're
Yeah.
just going to be like, I don't know what I just watched.
Yeah.
Let's talk about trivia for just a second. For the scene in which Jack breaks down the bathroom door, the props department built a door that could be easily broken. However, Jack Nicholson had worked as a volunteer fire marshal and tore it apart far too easily. The props department were forced to then build a stronger door. And of course, I told you that Stanley Kubrick made them do multiple takes. I think they did that one like 30 or 40 times.
Yeah, I think they said it was 68 times he had to do it.
68 times.
68 times. I think that's what it was.
That's a lot of door
Yeah.
breaking.
I bet he was tired.
Well,
That's where they spent a good portion of that $19 million budget
On doors. Solid wooden doors.
But I didn't know that about Jack Nicholson, that he had worked in the fire department, and so
what's the same
he
way
knew
with
the proper technique
yeah.
of how to do that.
It's the same way with Steve Buscemi. Did you know he was a volunteer firefighter?
I found that after I found out he was donating all that stuff to the fire department and stuff.
Yeah, and he helped recover during 9/11.
9/11.
Like he showed up at his old fire station.
Oh,
and
wow.
helped them clean up during 9/11.
That's amazing.
I mean, he was still acting. He was still a strong actor and everything, but he went out there and helped them clean up and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He's a real American.
Yep.
According to Shelley Duvall, the famous "Here's Johnny" scene took 3 days to film and the use of 60 doors.
60
which we
doors,
just mentioned
Yep.
there. Another little fun fact about that I read is that Stanley Kubrick never watched Johnny Carson,
No.
and Jack Nicholson improv'd that on the spot,
Yeah.
and he didn't know that that's who he was
Referring to
Referencing. Yeah. Yeah. I heard about
so it made it into the movie, obviously, and that's probably the most quoted part of the whole movie.
Ain't it wild how all an improvised line is the one that lasts forever?
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick, known for his compulsiveness and numerous retakes, got the difficult shot of blood pouring from the elevators in only 3 takes. This would be unremarkable if it weren't for the fact that the shot took 9 days to set up. Every time the doors opened and the blood poured out, Kubrick would say, "It doesn't look like blood." In the end, the shot took approximately a year to get right.
A year for what? 10 seconds of a shot?
And they showed
Yeah.
it twice.
Showed it twice.
But that is an unforgettable
It is.
scene.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Kubrick made that up or if that was something from the book.
See, that's the thing. I like we were talking about. I haven't read the book.
Yeah,
either,
having
so
not
I
read the
don't
book,
know.
I don't know that. Maybe somebody who does know can put that in
I wonder
the
how they
comments or
did
whatever.
that. If it was like a camera. I mean,
But you
About
think
the
about it. This is
first
1980.
Yeah.
There was no way to CG that.
No. That's one
Real
thing.
fluid.
A lot of people need to realize there was no CG until late 80s, and there was like
And even then,
minimal
it was, yeah.
CG.
it looked
that
horrible.
Yeah. So everything was very practical and all
Had to be
these-
done in camera.
Yeah.
And no wonder it took them so long because it's trial and error. They're
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Once all that red comes through that door, it ruins everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything's stained.
All the walls and everything. I mean, so
just
they
wonder how they did that.
They had to have some kind of like bag or something that was just connected to the wall and they could release it. I've never actually researched on how they did it.
Yeah.
But it had to have somebody.
Your first
back.
thought would be like they did it in miniature.
Yeah.
Like maybe they made a miniature
Yeah.
version of the hallway
Yeah.
and did it, but
Full scale. Yeah.
maybe they did it full scale. I don't know.
like that way we did with Independence Day, that full scale blast, but
Yeah.
it was on a table and the flame
Yeah.
was blowing up through the city.
Because they said, I think I was reading the only miniatures that were in this movie was the maze.
Yeah.
That was the only miniatures. I mean, they built they used a real maze. I think eventually, right? I think
So in terms of special effects, you think
Yeah.
about there's probably maybe 2 or 3 parts of the movie that would need special effects. That blood is one of them.
Yep.
The scene with the maze,
Yeah.
him overlooking and him like imagining them in the maze.
And
We talked about how difficult that would be, and then and then maybe I guess maybe the picture at the end where they had to Photoshop Jack Nicholson's face in that
Into that.
photo. Maybe that was a special effect.
it was a real. I mean, they really used like Photoshop and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it said it was like from shoulders up that it was actually his head. Because I've seen the real photo. I mean, it's a real photo. It was a photo from the 20s when I think
Yeah.
they said it was from-
21.
Yeah, it was actually a photo from the 20s, and they just, however they did it back then, photoshopped his head right on the body, and it worked. It looked really good.
And that was a younger version of him.
Yeah.
Cool
We're gonna
deal.
have to get into that. That's definitely this is like Christopher Nolan type stuff going on in this movie.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Derek. Doug, do you want to read us some reviews and let everybody know what some people think about the movie?
I will, and thank you to Nathan for giving me the bold print, being I don't have my glasses. Shout out to Nathan's printing skills. Okay, here we go. 4 out of 10. A total botch job. Jaded I-333. This was this year.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This was this last month.
I like getting the bad reviews. I like getting them the most recent a lot of times because I like hearing what people today think about these movies.
They do realize that was 45 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I waited. Okay, here's the problem. I waited to watch this until after I read the book. And boy, was I disappointed.
Yeah, I say that's a bad idea. I feel
This
like.
movie has been lauded.
Lauded.
Lauded. Is that right? Is that a word?
That's a word. It means praise.
Oh, okay. For being a cinematic masterpiece in the genre of horror. The thing is, it's not scary at all. It feels phoned in. Jack in is great, but his loving father to Danny was just not there. And Danny and his finger puppet was just dumb and poorly acted. This story is supposed to be a possessed hotel, but there was nothing to show that.
Doug's getting triggered just reading it.
Jeez. Scatman was underused and totally useless to the plot. Why have his character share such a deep connection with Danny only to kill him in the last act? Spoiler!
I will say I do feel like I would have loved to seen him more in the movie. I did really like his character, but I'm fine with what they used.
Well, I mean,
How are you going to get him back in there when the whole movie is about isolating the family?
That's
yeah,
true. That's
exactly. And
Can't play a prominent role.
if they didn't have his character meet Danny and how they interacted, how he knew his name and stuff like that, and explain The Shining right on time.
We're
with the
getting some thunder here.
Thunderstorms here.
And how you going to get the expo dump about The Shining?
Yeah.
Because the mom and dad have no idea.
Right. Yep.
Anyway. Whoa. Okay.
What?
I don't know what he's trying to say there. But that's
So they gave it a 4 out of 10, huh?
4 out of 10. Let's go to the next one. 8 out of 10. A great film, just not my thing. Santino Marinelli, August 12th, 2024. I've now watched The Shining twice as of writing this review. This film is pretty well done. I prefer this over 2001.
Me too.
A Space Odyssey. The sets are well done. The camera work is interesting in a good way, and Kubrick's directing is well done, giving it a Kubrick feel for his films. Out of everything, I found Nicholson's performance outstanding in all caps. He does a wonderful job of portraying someone slowly losing his sanity. I agree with that. I don't care what some say. I found Shelley Duvall's acting well. It truly is a shame to have heard of how she was mistreated on set and also her recent passing. The only reason I don't give this a 9 or a 10 out of 10 is simply because it's not my type of movie. This is only my second horror movie ever, and horror is not my type of movie.
So I would agree with that too. Like, I'm not your horror guy.
Yeah.
Like, I rarely ever watch a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is in a class all by its own.
I mean, and I would also say, and if you even look on IMDb, it's more a psychological thriller with horror elements in it.
Yeah, I would be hard pressed to call this one a horror movie. It just
I mean, if you really get technical about it, only one person, one person
Body
dies in
count
this
is
movie.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
Jack
Only see one person on screen die.
right, and then Jack freezes to death at the end. So I mean, so really, there's only one person
Okay, so we have a
dies.
two body
two
count.
body count.
but one only dies horribly. That's what I'm saying. It's just like
So this is not like Rambo or a Terminator movie.
that's what I'm
where
saying.
everybody
It's like
dies.
Yeah, it's like a psychological thriller horror.
And that's the whole point.
yeah.
Okay.
Show the audience that right there, Doug.
He increased the font size for me one more time.
1 out of 10.
Yeah. It's a 1 out of 10. It is so bad. Hoss -2, January 16th in 1999. Oh, he was partying like it's 1999. It is always a mistake to watch a film after reading the book. But in the case of Shining, it is worse. It is as if Stanley Kubrick has read a 5-page summary of Stephen King's ingenious masterpiece. It is just another movie to forget, so forget it. That was it. All right. Let's see. We did get an Ebert. Okay.
Yeah, it was a. Go ahead. I'll tell you about it.
This one is a 10 out of 10. This is the ultimate atmospheric ghost movie. Wow, that's okay. Rick, Texas, 38, August 6, 2005. If anyone in film could portray someone coming unglued, Jack Nicholson is that man. The music, atmosphere, and just Jack's classic weird scowl makes this just a weird thing to watch, and then the ghostly aspects and the score by Jerry Goldsmith are something that needs to be seen for true ghostly horror lovers. The scenes of the snowy, desolate hotel only add to it, and when the young son sees the two ghost girls in the hallway, and Jack does his scene in the hotel bar, where it is only the beginning of what is coming. The highlight of this whole film, though, is the "Here's Johnny" line Jack delivers while he is slashing through a door to get to Shelley Duvall. Classic stuff.
It's a good review.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So before you read Roger's, his review was very hard to deal with because it was literally him just retelling the movie. He was literally going scene by scene by scene in his entire.
Which is what you're not supposed to do as a reviewer.
And I'm
you're
like,
not supposed to spoil the plot.
So literally, I had to
condense it.
Condense it so much, but I also had to like search. I was like, are there cliff notes of his review? Just kind of giving me the basic idea of what his review is, because it was so difficult. It was easy to read. I'm not saying that, but it was just like, okay, well, you're just telling the story of the movie.
Yeah.
So this is what I came up with.
Okay. Let's see the Cliff Notes version that Nathan came up with. Roger Ebert. Kubrick's direction creates an overwhelming sense of dread and isolation. Trapping the characters in a horrifying environment, the unnatural, formal dialogue contributes to the film's uncanny valley effect, enhancing the sense of disoriented reality. Ebert notes that Nicholson's manic performance and Duvall's neurotic portrayal were intentional choices by Kubrick to amplify the character's descent into madness. The Overlook Hotel itself is presented as a malevolent force, a nexus of past evils and supernatural remnants that overwhelm its inhabitants. The film's ambiguity, thank you, particularly the climactic photo, leaves the viewer with lasting questions that make a thought-provoking and rewatchable experience. 4 out of 4. He loved it.
It's good.
4 out of 4. Yeah.
All right. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Doug.
You're welcome.
We had some right people and some wrong people there.
Yes, we did. Thank you, Internet.
All right, so I'm going to read the scene by scene here. So, scene 1. We start with a yellow Volkswagen Beetle driving through the mountains. Jack Torrance interviews at the Overlook Hotel. We meet his wife, Wendy, and son, Danny. Jack and his family will stay at the Overlook Hotel for 5 months, taking care of it while it's closed. Dick Halloran, the head chef, discovers Danny's psychic abilities and reveals it's called The Shining.
All right.
So, like I said, that first scene, I mean, the movie just starts they used a helicopter flying over that lake, and it's just like, and then that music just kicks in, and it's such a beautiful opener for a movie, and especially a psychological thriller like this movie is. And then eventually they start zooming in, and you start seeing the little Volkswagen Beetle
Yeah, coming up the mountain.
coming up the mountain.
And you get that sense of dread, like, you're walking to the principal's office and you're in trouble.
I think
it's coming.
I think I heard somewhere in the book it's a red Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
And then they use a yellow one here. And then later on, when they show the mechanic shop, and it's snowy,
Yeah.
there's a red Beetle outside that's broke down.
Well, and I think from what I
It's like it was like an insult or a
Yeah.
dig at Stephen
At
King.
Stephen King.
well, and I think from what I was reading, to go with what you're saying there, Derek, I think Stanley didn't like the red. I think he wanted to be yellow instead.
Yeah.
And then of course,
contrast to before and after.
yes.
like-
Well, then of course Stephen King, when he saw that, he hated it so much that he changed the color of it.
I mean, wow.
Kind of a petty thing to get upset about.
Yeah.
About the
but
color of a
anyway.
bug. He could have used anything.
So that's where we get the vista and the shot of the Overlook Hotel in the early fall, like before the storm sets in and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I read somewhere where somebody counted there are 42 cars in the parking lot. And 42 is like a recurring number throughout the movie. And there's a 42 on Danny's pajamas, like when he's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And room 237, like I don't know how you do the math, but you multiply two of those and then add and you can get 42.
42.
Yeah.
And the reason for the 42 is because one conspiracy theory going along with this movie is that it has to do about the Holocaust.
Really?
Yeah, because the final solution began in 1942, where the Jews started exterminating, or the Nazis started exterminating the Jews in that year. And the typewriter that he uses in the movie is a German typewriter, the same one that the Nazis would use to meticulously note all of their dastardly deeds.
Now, do you think
So-
Stanley really thought that?
I don't think the movie is
that
about
deep?
the Holocaust.
No.
I think the movie is more general in the sense that I think he's making a commentary about human nature, about depravity and evil in the human heart, and I think it's really about cycles of violence throughout history. I think that's what he's trying to say. We can get to that at the end.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Well, I think another theory is the whole because if you notice in the hotel, there's so many like Native American
yeah.
things in the hotel. It's very Native American themed.
Yeah.
And
Well, it was built over the
Yeah.
Burial ground.
Indian burial ground.
So-
That is
Which
so
is-
tropey.
Yeah, you hear that joke a lot, even in pop culture.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
every movie in
I'm
the
surprised the hotel
80s,
didn't
burial ground.
implode into
Suck
itself.
itself into the ground.
So, but then you get that initial meeting between Jack Nicholson and the hotel manager.
Yeah.
In the office, the impossible room that we mentioned there. That sort of sets up the eeriness of the place, because that's where he has to divulge to Jack Nicholson, hey, we have a history here.
Yeah.
And goes back and explains.
Somebody got murdered. In
Yeah.
this, or several people got murdered. A man went crazy taking care of the hotel and chopped up his family and
Killed him with an
still-
axe.
And
Killed
stacked
with an
them
axe.
neatly in room 237, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Killed his wife,
And then-
killed his daughters, and then
Ate and
shot
shot.
himself in the head with a shotgun.
yeah.
Okay, so like, did anybody else notice the way? Okay, when he's first doing an interview for the job, and they go walking him through the hotel, and it may be when his wife was there, but how every single room was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's by design.
yeah, I was gonna say you think they're doing that so you purposely completely confused about where you are.
Yeah. I think
no-
so.
Well, Derek, like you said it before, like the hotel itself is its own maze.
It's a maze.
Because
Yeah.
even to go out of the hotel, you go downstairs and then you have to go up a flight, then you have to go back down. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, man, you could get confused in there.
Well, and also in this kind of first scene, we find out that Jack was an alcoholic.
Get a little bit of his backstory.
And I think they said it was like he's been on the wagon. Is that
For
the term?
5 years.
For 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. And we also find out that in one of his not necessarily rages, but he needed Danny or something, so he pulled Danny one time and
Well,
actually.
that didn't happen till scene 2, did it?
No. This was
No, this is explained in the cut scene when it goes to the home, and that's where Danny has his first vision there in
When
front
she's
of the
talking to
mirror.
doctor.
Yeah, and that's where
brushes
he
his
sees the two twins
Yeah.
and the blood
Yeah.
in the hallway.
Well,
That's where and then he has sort of like that panic attack or whatever,
Right.
and the doctor comes and visits.
well in that
House
that,
call.
Yeah.
that doctor, or I guess she's the doctor, is talking to Wendy about how everything's going with Jack and Danny and the family, and she
That's where he explains the background.
yeah, and we found out
I
that
must
he
miss-
accidentally broke Danny's arm.
Dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah.
He came home. He was drunk.
Yeah.
He had taken some of his writings, his papers, and like strewn them around.
Right.
And he got mad, and
Yeah.
that's when that happened. So it kind of sets up a little bit of the backstory of the character in that he's already has a history of anger management. This is
Yeah.
a troubled home.
Yeah.
Like he's frustrated, right? He had been a school teacher, and that didn't work out. Probably because he got angry or
Could be,
something
yeah.
Hurt a
there.
child, probably.
They don't
Yeah.
really go into
He's
it too
he's
much.
struggling as a writer, so like he's got writer's block, and you get the idea that this guy is trouble, and the family is just barely hanging on. He's not really a great dad. He's sort of, I don't know, detached from his wife.
Well, that makes that makes that scene when he's at the bar talking to the bartender that much more wild.
Oh yeah.
because it's like his inner monologue and of how bad of a father he is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Something else too you'll notice about this movie, and I noticed it when I rewatched it. There's something going on with mirrors in this movie because the kid has his first shining vision in front of the bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And later on in the movie, Jack Nicholson, when he kind of makes his deal with the devil there at the
Yeah.
bar, he's looking into the
In
mirror.
the mirror.
When they write murder,
Red rum.
red rum, she sees it written
the
on the door
mirror.
in the mirror. There's something that happens in this movie with the mirror, like
Well, and also there's another mirror scene when I think it's been like a month. They're already into the
Oh
stand
yeah,
there.
when she's waking him up.
she brings him breakfast, and the whole scene is shot through the mirror.
Yeah.
Him waking up. So that's another kind of mirror scene.
so.
there.
Whole
I don't.
nother
There's
theory.
something deeper there, like when you look in the mirror shows you who you really are, warts and all.
Yeah.
And so the mirror is. I don't know what he's trying to portray, the director is, but there's
Yeah.
something happens between reality and the spirit realm or the psychic realm, however you want to describe it, when the mirror is in play there.
Well, I don't know if you just mentioned this, but also in the room, what's it, 242 or
237.
237, when he sees the woman, he sees her back through the mirror
The first time.
the first
Yeah.
time. So that's another mirror scene right there. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there is a lot of that right there. So basically, he's the hotel manager's talking about them staying for 5 months, and he said, "Do you think you could handle staying?"
Oh, yeah.
5 months? And
Isolation.
They'll love it.
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be great." And then that's when he mentions he has a wife and daughter, and he's like, a wife and son, and he's like, "What do you think how your wife would feel about?" Oh, like Derek just said, they're gonna love it.
Well, even after he tells him the story about what happened, she's like, "Well, she considers herself an amateur
Horror.
movie."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that line.
And but then when you watch how she acts, it's like,
Yeah.
you've never seen a horror movie.
Somebody pointed out, there's a couple of little details that I saw that somebody pointed out. When it shows her in the house, she's reading a book and smoking a cigarette. There's a lot of cigarette smoking that happens in this movie.
Yes.
Kind of dates it, but she's reading Catcher in the Rye,
Okay.
which if you know anything about Catcher in the Rye, John Hinckley Jr. was reading Catcher in the Rye when he shot John Lennon.
Oh, okay.
And then Mark David Chapman was also obsessed with that book when he assassinated or tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never read it.
Now I think that both of those shootings
Deep cut.
came after this movie. I know the Reagan one did.
Yeah.
And
When did Lennon die?
he died in 1980, but I think it was
Okay,
after this.
okay.
I think it was just pure coincidence.
Yeah, I think that's what most of this movie is. With all these
Coincidence?
conspiracy, is just coincidence.
But there's the thing about that. And then somebody else pointed out the tie that Jack Nicholson is wearing.
Isn't it the same
The
pattern
office,
as the carpet?
It's green, and it's the pattern of it is maze-like,
yes, maze-like.
the labyrinth,
Yeah.
the hedge maze that's outside
Oh,
the
that's
hotel.
that's
Now, I think
psychological.
that is probably intentional.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
But the Catcher in the Rye thing, I think that's just
Coincidence.
yeah.
If you look at something long enough, you'll find some kind of pattern.
So there's a couple more things here I want to touch on before we move
No, you're good.
into the next scene. There's the family trip when he goes back, picks them up, and brings them in the Volkswagen, and they're riding along, and somehow the Donner Party is brought up in the conversation.
Yeah,
and the son asks, "What's the Donner Party?" And Jack Nicholson doesn't even try and like tone it down a little bit for the kid. Like he just straight up tells him like they had to eat each other. Oh, I know what cannibalism is. I saw that on TV.
And then he's got that smile. Oh, I saw it on television. And then he does that Jack Nicholson smile. I was like, this dude is nuts.
Yeah. So it's kind of a little bit of a foreshadowing of what's getting ready to happen.
Well, you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think the whole thing when it comes to Jack, I think he loves his family, but I think he's got the demons of being an alcoholic that is his downfall. So I think that's what I don't think he's an abusive person.
That's
per
another
se.
theory.
I don't know. I mean, I
You're
think-
wrong. Nah.
Well, I think when he drinks, yeah, he might get abusive, but it's just I don't know. I do feel like he loves his family, but at the same time, he's also one of those like I hate to put it this way, but like a 60s and 70s dad. You know, he's strong.
No sissies here.
Yeah, that kind of type of dad. So
Gotcha.
I don't think he's a
No emotion. Like-
yes.
Yeah.
I think he's that type of person. So they're showing him around the hotel, showing the family and everything, and then this is where we meet Dick Halloran. Mm-hmm. He's the head chef, and he's super nice guy, and he's but I think it's like he senses Danny already has The Shining.
Yeah. Oh, he absolutely does. That's why they picked up. They kind of explain it in the way when the mom realizes, how do you know we call him Doc?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then I guess he also read Danny's mind that he wanted some ice cream, or he loves ice cream.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Do you care if I take Danny get some ice cream while you guys finish?"
Well, right before that, did you notice he was like trying to tell him in his mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that scene, like it's almost a close up.
Yeah.
Where they have that little telepathic conversation.
Yeah.
And they mention what The Shining is there. And if you go and watch that scene carefully, I noticed this when I rewatched it.
Is this where they're eating ice cream?
They're eating
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream, and they show the knives that is going to be used later on.
Oh,
are like
hanging
right
behind-
above the boy's head, pointing down. I know that is intentional.
Well, if you notice, they definitely show every area that's going to be a major scene. In later.
That's where they show him the refrigerator and then the dry goods pantry, where later on
Yep.
Jack is going to be
Yep.
locked in there.
Did you guys see? I mean, this might be in the next scene, but it doesn't really matter. It's nothing important. But that giant can of fruit cocktail that she opened, I'm like, you got to eat that whole thing? I mean,
There's a big jar of Tang in there.
Yeah,
I
a
know
gallon and
that.
a half of fruit cocktail. We're eating this for the next month.
well,
Definitely couldn't starve.
One more thing. Somebody's pointed out on one of these internet Reddit things that if you pause it and zoom in real carefully, when Jack is in the lobby and he's waiting on his tour and the head man to come get him, he's sitting in a chair and he's reading a Playgirl magazine.
Playgirl, yeah,
Really?
Yes.
yeah.
And I've seen zoomed in pictures of it, and it's just bizarre.
It's very strange. There's no
it's really
explanation
weird,
for it.
which
You're
sort
reading
of
that in the middle of a hotel lobby.
exactly.
But why would the hotel have that?
I don't know, and it sort of lends more credence to this idea that Jack
Hotel did it.
that Jack is he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
Like to push against your point that
Yeah.
this guy has got some issues.
He's got some demons.
and he's sexually deviant, and he's on the edge of being pushed, and he just needs a nudge in the right direction, and the hotel is going to do it for him.
Well, and also, do you think that I kind of heard another theory that whole Playgirl thing was something also that was from his past life when he was in a hotel before. I heard something like that.
Yeah.
But nothing's really. It's just been a big question. Why is that?
Is that one of the theories that he was there in a past life?
Yeah, reincarnation.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, scene 2. A month later, while Jack writes, Wendy and Danny explore the hotel. Jack starts to lose it and dreams of killing his family. Danny has bruises on his neck, leading Shelley to suspect him. Jack drinks again and sees bartender Lloyd. Shelley runs in, saying Danny claimed a woman from room 237 strangled him.
So the first scene where you really see Jack's character start to come unhinged is when she's bringing him lunch or breakfast
While
I think
he's
it's like a
riding.
sandwich or
while
something.
he's riding.
Yeah.
He loses it.
And he loses it. Obviously, he's got writer's block there. And
Definitely
he's struggling.
Well, the whole scene where he's throwing the ball against the wall. That's
It's like raging.
well. I was gonna say it's raging, but it's also that's pure writer's block
Yeah.
right there because he can't think of anything to write.
But
And he like explodes on her.
yeah, she's just trying to be supportive and be a good wife, and
Yeah.
he just levels her
Yeah.
with F-bombs and makes the rule about
And it's
her
like when
not
they-
coming back in there.
When they wake up, we talk about when she comes in there and brings him breakfast, it shows her going all the way from this humongous kitchen into to their little apartment, and she brings him breakfast, and it's been a month. Mm-hmm. And everything seems fine. Everybody's happy. Oh, they're loving it. It shows all the scenes with outside playing. And
Yeah, they go to the maze
yeah. I mean,
and they run around.
they're having a ball.
Well, and I think that was another downfall of Jack is the fact that he didn't. If he was having writer's block, go out there with your family and explore the grounds and all that stuff. But no, he is stuck in there, and he's also. I don't know if feeding is the right word, but feeding off the whatever is in that hotel. So it's making him really go crazy faster.
So this is also that scene that takes place where he's watching his wife and son
Yes.
in the maze from the window.
Yeah, he's just like,
And then he's looking down. He has
On
the
the
model of the maze.
Yeah.
The place is called Overlook. Like he is overlooking them, and as he's doing it, like he's becoming more and more detached, and you almost feel like he's got that deranged look.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a look of a stalker.
when the camera kept on going more and more into his face.
Oh, they played up his look. I couldn't imagine anybody else. I just can't see anybody else could play this part and be that expressive.
Yeah.
No.
There's a crazy scene too where Danny is riding his big wheel.
Yeah.
I think this happens around here.
Yeah.
And this is the sound of it. The sound
big
of
wheel?
it is the big wheel as it rides over the hardwood.
Then the carpet.
And then it hits carpet and it goes completely silent. And just it's almost a rhythm, which I think they actually use in the soundtrack later on. That kind of
Probably
rhythm
do.
of.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, and it's just a weird eerie scene as the little boy is riding around because you're thinking, well, something's going to jump out at him.
Yeah.
And then eventually later on, he does see the twins again.
Well, and that's I think this is a scene where he finally makes it to room 237. Like he sees it,
He drives by it.
drives by it, and he looks back at it.
Yeah.
And does the door open then or not yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. He
And
drives
he
by
remembers.
it. But he remembers Mr. Holleran telling him, there's nothing in there.
that
Don't
room.
go in there.
Yeah.
Got no business in there.
Yeah.
But this one scene where it shows him riding through that I was like, that was nostalgia.
I had a big wheel.
Because, dude, I had a big wheel and I rode that thing. I could have done some damage inside of a hotel that big. And the way it was sliding around, you remember the brake on the one?
Oh, yeah.
Purposely sliding around. dude, that I just thought, man, if I could be a little kid again and do that. But them floors would have been destroyed.
Yeah.
Well,
After 5 months.
well, see, and they also say that whole scene of him riding around in the conspiracy theories does not make sense because they show him riding on one floor and then all of a sudden he's on another floor
Yeah,
riding again.
I've
So they're
seen
like, what does he transport to the second floor? And that's another.
MC Escher design, right? It's impossible architectural structures.
Well, let me say this since I mentioned earlier, the whole scene where Jack's throwing the ball against the wall, that was improvised by Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was, I mean, of course you see him actually
and
throw the ball.
the tennis ball is key
Yeah.
because that's the temptation that sort of leads the little boy, Danny, when he's out in the hallway
Yeah.
and he's playing with his cars. He's sitting there on the ground, and the tennis ball is what rolls up to him, and that's what gets his attention. And he looks up and he sees the door open to room 237.
That's right. Yeah.
So the question is, and this is a big conspiracy theory here, is
Was it Jack?
the only one who had the tennis ball previous was Jack.
Yeah.
And so one of the big conspiracy theories is that when the little boy goes into 237 and he's abused, it's Jack that does it because of the tennis ball.
And that was Wendy's first initial thought.
That was her
You
like
did.
her mama bear
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hadn't heard that actually.
Yeah.
I could see it now, though.
If you go back and watch it again,
Yeah.
I mean, think about the tennis ball because just a few scenes previous, he's the one that's banging it against the wall.
Yeah.
And then, of course, later on, he denies it like you would expect.
Yeah. And then the tennis ball rolls up to him. Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes you think like, okay, if these are ghosts or mental projections that are appearing here in the movie, then how can they do physical damage on people? And of course, Jack's explanation for the bruises is, well, he did it himself.
Yeah.
Remember that? Well,
Yeah.
that would be really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've been
And
there.
his shirt is ripped too.
Yeah. That thick sweater. That would have been hard to tear.
Oh, and
So-
the whole space shuttle on his sweater. That's another.
Was it-
That's another
Apollo?
Apollo 11.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's another-
okay.
But one of the main theories that you'll hear about this is that Jack is really a child abuser, and that's the dark secret of his past.
whole movie?
And The Shining brings that out. The hotel brings that out again, and it sort of adds to that when they have that creepy scene in the bedroom where the boy comes in to get his fire truck.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah. And he's sitting there.
And he's sitting there, and he asks him to come over and like sit on his lap, and he kisses him, and you think this is supposed to be like a tender scene, but it is creepy.
It's like your weird uncle wanting you to come.
It's
sit in his
weird.
lap. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, if you go back and watch that, when Shelley Duvall and the boy are there, Danny, they're watching the TV. It's not plugged up.
Okay, so they
TV is not plugged up. It has no electrical.
so
Just go watch it.
so I was reading some behind the scenes things. I mean, it really was a really plugged up TV, but what they did was they hid the cord
Okay.
behind the leg of the TV and underneath the carpet.
They hit it really well.
They did, yeah, because
Because it was sitting in a weird place. Now you think about it,
'cause
it was
that-
like in the middle of the floor.
that's one thing with Stanley. He didn't want to see any cords, so it's kind of
okay.
part of it. So after Shelley thinks that Jack did it, that's when Jack decides to take a little stroll to the bar. But
Yeah.
there is no alcohol.
They mentioned that earlier on in the movie. They
Yes.
take all the booze out. Yeah.
Well, and okay, that whole walk up to the bar, it's like he was pumping himself up to get in the ring with somebody. Did you notice that?
Yeah. And there's a thing too there. Remember the mirrors? Watch that scene again because he's walking past several mirrors, and as he walks by, that's when he does those fits of rage. It's like he's having a psychotic break through that.
And then he does the whole when he gets up there. First thing he does is look over the bar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he comes back and sits down.
There's a key line in there. because he sits down. He says, "Man, I would give my soul for
the devil."
for
Yeah.
even a mug of beer." And then boom, Lloyd
Jack Daniels.
appears.
I had
Yep.
the subtitles on, so I wouldn't miss what it was saying. And I was like, he just said he'd sell his soul.
Yeah.
And he looks up and there's
Yeah,
Lloyd.
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's you got to think that's probably another reason why he's in that picture, because his soul is part of that hotel now.
Yeah. He's always been the caretaker. But then they have that conversation at the bar, which is quite revealing too. Because
Oh yeah, it's like his inner self is trying. It's his inner battle,
Yeah.
because he's sitting there saying how much he loves his son and wife. He would never hurt them.
Well, see, and a lot of people, I was reading a lot of people question, how does he even get drunk? It's like I guess let's just say the ghost, the hotel, whatever you want to call it, is the one that caused him to be drunk. It's just mentally, he's mentally drunk. So
Okay,
people that was the one thing people
who
question.
unlocks the freezer?
that's another one. You cannot explain that one. But when Shelley Duvall comes back to the bar with the bat in her hand,
There's nobody there.
the glass is gone, bartender's gone, the
yeah.
booze is gone. Like,
And the way
which shows you that Jack is getting the ability to shine.
Yeah.
He has that gift, if that's what you want to call it, or curse now.
and he passed it to that's how Danny got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the hotel is revealing that. But he even says in there to the bartender, he talks about how, well, there was this one time I did hurt him, but it was a total accident. So he's like waffling back and forth between.
A couple, little bit too much pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was totally trying to. What is it when you delude? What
Trying
he
to
did?
convince yourself that
Yeah,
you-
trying to
yeah.
convince yourself that he didn't do it on purpose.
So that's when she comes in, baseball bat in hand, and says there was a woman.
Danny said there was a woman that hurt him in 237.
Yeah. Which leads then to
Yeah.
the next.
Okay.
Scene,
What,
yeah.
Okay. What? the
Well, doesn't
when
J-
Jack looks up,
yeah, doesn't he
at
call
her.
her stupid? He's like, "Are you stupid?" or
Yeah, something like that. You out of your mind.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the way he looks up at her and said, he's like, "What room number? What room number was it?" That one line he said, I think that's the best delivery of a line he does. When he looks up at him, the way he does that, when he lifts his head up and he's got that, he's like, okay, this is an outlet where I can really release this anger.
So let's move on to
Okay.
the 237.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So scene 3. Holleran at his house gets a premonition of the hotel's events. Jack investigates room 237 and sees a woman in the tub. He sees a wrinkled, old, rotting woman in the mirror and runs. Holleran calls the hotel but finds the phones down. Jack tells Wendy he found nothing and suggests Danny hurt himself. Wendy proposes leaving, but Jack disagrees.
So this is where you see the psychic connection between Holleran and the boy again.
Yeah.
And they both have that
Yeah.
mouth
Yeah.
dropped, like drooling
Yeah.
reaction together.
Yeah. And Holleran knows something's going on right now.
Okay, you mentioned that way he's looking. Mm-hmm. After it's the next, it's like a little bit farther ahead. But when she's dragging Jack down the hall, what's the face he's making when she's dragging him across the floor?
Oh yeah, later on when she
And he's twitching.
clocks him.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
So room 237.
Yes.
This is the reason why the movie has an R rating, obviously.
Yeah. I will say this. I was very shocked. Like I said, I think the last time I saw it was on TV.
Yeah.
So I did not see. I was just like,
Yeah,
okay.
you didn't see that.
All right.
Definitely the 70s.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting how he's lured in by the beautiful woman. And then as he gets closer and then looks in the mirror again, he sees it's the rotting corpse, of, I guess, the wife from years ago.
Is that who
killed by the
who
husband.
she was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, was the woman he's seeing the woman that was on the Playboy he was reading at the beginning?
Well, no, it was a Playgirl.
A Playgirl.
No, I don't think there's a connection there.
No, there's
I think
no
this is
connection.
meant to be.
That Playgirl has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't know
just
if it was
weird.
like a
It's
mental
just weird
projection
that
it's
of
just
a-
weird.
Okay.
The woman, I think, is meant to be the deceased wife of the previous caretaker.
That makes sense because they show later on, like maybe at the end of the movie when they're maybe doing flashes of the hotel, they show the dead woman in the tub, like from years ago. I think they show her. It's literally just a second.
Flash.
This is the scene that they recreate in Ready Player One, obviously without all the nudity and
Nudity,
all that.
yeah.
But man,
and the
you talk
ballroom,
about
too.
the biggest fake out of all time. Like when it becomes a wrinkled old hag, and
Yeah.
that laugh.
Catfish was catfish.
Whoa! that scene from the movie will just absolutely creep you out.
Yeah.
for forever. And I don't know if that was original to the book or if that was something that Stanley Kubrick came up with. But
I think
man,
it was.
oh
I think that
man.
was one of the things and also the whole room 237 number. The hotel wanted them to change the number because in the original hotel was like room 232 or something, and they said we don't want people coming to stay at our hotel with the same number because nobody will want to stay in that room. So they requested them to change the number, so that's when they changed it to 237. So, I feel like Jack is full on. I don't know if he's completely gone now, but
He's gone.
Is it? You think he's
he's
gone at this point? Okay, yeah. He's just. I mean, he when he walks back into their room, he's like nothing happened. It's like it's almost like it
there.
was gone. Like it was nothing happened. You're crazy, and then that's when he starts getting angry that she wants to leave, and she says we need to go, and
That's when he's saying, "What do you think? I'm going to go back to Denver and wash cars?
yeah,
Yeah.
You're going to ruin this for
Not
me."
going to let you mess up my life again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is when,
Do you guys want to move on?
and this is also when he starts taking all those measures to sabotage them leaving.
yeah,
Like he
That
takes,
she
he
didn't
takes
know
the
yet.
batteries out of the
Yeah.
radio. He sabotages the snowcat, so they can't leave.
which we don't see, but I'm glad we don't see.
You're in for a big surprise.
Yeah, that was a good payoff.
I'm glad we don't see it though. I'm glad we don't see him going out there messing with the tractor.
They
or
do
whatever.
show him taking the batteries out of the radio. Remember?
yeah,
that?
Yes,
pulls,
that-
pulls
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
bus's the transistors out of it.
Yeah.
And that thing must have been bolted down because you notice he went up to it and like he was going to, I thought he was going to pick it up and smash it. But then he popped the top off of it.
Do you guys want to go ahead and move on to scene 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
I had a hard time breaking down this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
There was just, yeah. Okay. So scene 4, Jack finds a party in the ballroom. A drink spills on him, and he is taken to the bathroom. Grady, the man who killed his family decades ago, reveals he's always been the caretaker and warns Jack that Halloran is trying to reach the hotel. It's funny that the hotel knows that Halloran is trying to reach the hotel. I thought that was really crazy. Jack destroys the CB radio. Halloran makes his way to the hotel. Jack tries to attack Wendy, and she hits him. Man, I can't read. And locks him in the storage room.
So that ballroom.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy.
Now there's
Him
another
walking in there.
There's another part here that connects with the idea of reincarnation, or that Jack is kind of trapped here and has been here before. He mentions deja vu
Yeah.
earlier on in the movie, but when he goes up to the bar, this time he has money to pay. The first time he didn't have any money.
Yeah.
And he
it's
asked
a
the
little
bartender,
light.
he said, "How was my credit here?" "Oh, your credit is great."
Right.
And he pulls out that 20.
The second time when he comes up, he has money and he puts the money down, and the bartender says, "Your money's no good here."
Right.
Which sort of lends the fact that, you know, the hotel is pushing him to stay and to entice him to do these evil things.
Yeah.
It's temptation, and it's actively working to nudge him toward psychosis and murder.
Let me say this real quick about that bartender. You guys probably don't even recognize him because, Derek, I know you're not a fan of Blade Runner at all. I know you're not. Doug, I think you're kind of hot and cold about it.
True.
But he played Tyrell.
Okay.
That same actor played Tyrell.
It seemed like I also read somewhere where one of the mountain vistas, one of the shots of the mountain vistas was repurposed for Blade Runner.
The whole
Oh boy, it's another one connected to Blade Runner. Don't
what's-
get him started.
what's his no? Well, I mean, this has to do with The Shining. What's his name that did Alien? And he did Blade Runner. What's the director?
Oh, yeah. Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott went to Stanley and asked him if he could if he had any extra footage that he could use. And he said, "Yeah, I've got this where we're driving through the mountains and
okay.
stuff." And so they use it in the extended cut of Blade Runner and
Gotcha.
stuff like that.
So let's talk about the Jeeves character, the butler who spills the drink and then takes him into the bathroom.
Great.
And it's apricot. What is there a significance to that? It being apricot?
I don't know.
I don't think. I
That-
don't know. I hadn't heard anything.
That bathroom, like the color scheme is so ugly and garish. It's like a weird shade of blue, of red.
Yeah.
Almost said blue. A weird shade of red and white. It's just so off-putting.
Well, if you notice, the ballroom was like gold. Like everything in there was
And
like
something
gold.
else. They're in front of those mirrors
Yeah.
again. And that's where he's having this extended conversation with the butler. And he confronts the butler and says, "I know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the guy that axed his family and cut him up into little bits."
Which I love. I actually love this scene because I think this is one of the best scenes of his acting, of Jack Nicholson's acting ability. Is this scene because he knows who this guy is. He's trying to convince this ghost or whatever
Of who he is.
and the guy's like, "No, I'm not."
Well, like
I'm not
when
Grady.
when he turns around like he's trying to wet the little towel.
Yeah.
And Jack looks over his shoulder in the mirror
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're that dude."
Yeah.
So I've heard that there is a deleted scene where it shows Jack going down into some of the archives of the hotel, and he finds a book of newspaper clippings, and that's where he reads about the butler killing his family. And that's why he says in the bathroom, "I saw you in the newspaper." If you go back and watch that, but that scene is deleted.
Yeah. And well, what I was saying earlier,
Because it was the first time he heard about it when they were giving him the job.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I was saying earlier is there's never been an extended cut of this movie because Stanley, until the day he died, he always thought this movie was perfect. That's why he burned all those extra scenes, burned that ending and everything. So that's why you'll never be able to see it actually in footage. There's only pictures of it, like stills.
Yeah.
And
It don't feel like a 2.5 hour.
no, it really doesn't.
Because you
But-
get sucked into it.
well, see
It's such a mind trip, man.
the estate of Stanley's will not allow a extended cut. They said this movie is perfect. Stanley did not want it, so this is all you're going to get of the movie.
So, and then also the Grady character reveals there, he says to Jack, "You've always been the caretaker," which gives more credence to the idea of reincarnation.
Yeah.
That ties in to the original photo or that you see at the end of the movie where he's there in 1921 or whatever, that Jack has been there before. He has lived this out, deja vu. He's actually the one that killed
So
a long
Jack
time
and
ago.
Grady are the same
And
person.
then his spirit was reincarnated
No.
in another form and then brought back. And every time he's sort of brought back to relive in almost a self-fulfilling prophecy way to do it over and over and over again.
No, I don't think Jack and Grady are the same person. I think because Grady was pretty much the caretaker in between. I guess you could say in between him being the caretaker, if that's what he was before.
Yeah.
So
That's just a fan theory. I mean, you can
Yeah.
make of it what you want.
yeah.
But you have this idea that the hotel is a character in and of itself, and it has psychic paranormal ability
Absolutely. Yeah.
to manifest the deceased spirits of people that are trapped there.
Well, and see,
That's
also
kind of the idea behind it. And
also we know. Okay, this goes back to we haven't got there yet, but I'll go ahead and say this. We also know there has to be ghosts. There's something in that hotel that's ghosts, spirits, whatever. Because later on, when Wendy's running from Jack or trying to find Danny,
She starts seeing
She
them.
sees them too.
Right.
The hotel starts showing her all the ghosts. The blood comes out of the elevator for her.
Okay,
So-
you brought that up, but what was the significance of her walking in that one room and seeing cobwebs? That's all it was.
yeah, and then there's another scene where it's a bunch of skeletons, which I don't know what purpose that serves.
Just I don't know, just something
weird.
just something to scare her. I really I don't know if I don't think there's really any theories on it, so I don't really know. And the reason I said this earlier, why I didn't think at the moment that Jack was completely 100% gone, I think this is the moment that takes him over the edge.
Yeah,
right
and
here.
the butler pushes him to do
Yes.
this. Like, I don't think you have the will to do this.
Yes.
And he kept saying, I had to correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where you get the whole story about, I had 2 girls and they wanted to burn it down and I had to correct them.
them.
Yes. So this, and then after that, after he leaves that, this is when he starts doing all the things that he's doing, sabotaging everything. He goes and destroys the radio. We kind of glossed over, but there was a scene earlier when Wendy contacts the Rangers.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
US
because
Rangers.
the phone lines quit working.
Yeah, and so she wanted to find
Phone
out
lines
about
quit.
it.
All they got's over there radio CB essentially.
Yeah.
But they still have TV service. They still have an antenna that picks up TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to overlook that. So there is an iconic moment that happens here, and that is when Wendy goes to the typewriter
Yes.
and looks through the papers
yeah.
and notices all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, written over and over and over
That's
again.
probably the second most famous line out of this
Yeah,
movie.
and what a stroke of brilliance! There's a double entendre there. It's talking not about Jack, but it is talking about Jack. That's a common saying that you've heard your whole life.
Yeah.
His name happens to be Jack, and the guy's got writer's block. He's pushed himself into oblivion. And this is how psychotic he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
just writing the line over and
it's
over and
that
over
much
and over
paper.
again.
It was like a brick of paper.
And,
Yeah.
and it's different, like in different types of paragraphs,
Yeah,
different
it was
types
format.
of
He had
Yeah.
it formatted in
every
a
single
book.
thing. So a little behind the scenes, Stanley's secretary typed every bit of that.
Oh my gosh.
Every bit of that.
It makes me think of another horror film, Seven.
Yeah.
You remember in Seven when they discover Kevin Spacey's apartment and he's
and
just
the-
got
the
all those
manuscripts.
notebooks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Or the Batman when they find the Riddler's notebooks and
Oh, yeah.
that, which
Yeah.
is I feel like they took from Seven in the Batman and all that stuff. So
so
Holloran
let's talk about
I would say Holloran finally makes it to the hotel.
let's talk about that stairway scene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is a visceral scene. Jack Nicholson is completely unhinged at that moment.
Every step it gets worse.
She's got the ball bat and she's swinging it like a little girl.
Oh, my
Obviously,
God.
It's not going to do anything. But that scene on the stairwell where she clocks him on the head and then
Well, she keeps
he
on
messes
saying
up
we need
his
to leave.
ankle.
We
Yeah.
need to leave.
He messes up his ankle there, and that's when she drags him into the pantry.
Pantry. Yep.
Let's give it up to the stuntman that fell down those steps.
Oh yeah. And apparently they shot that scene like 100 and some odd times.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, and like I said, this is where Jack he's gone. He is completely gone. She's saying we need to leave, and he's like, I've got a responsibility here.
Do you not understand? I signed a contract.
Yeah.
That's all he's worried about.
And like every step, he looks crazier.
Yeah.
Every time he
Give me
goes
that bat.
up a step,
Give me that bat.
It's like
Yeah.
he's descent into madness, but he's climbing the stairs. And okay, when they show him after he fell, and all of a sudden you see him getting dragged, and I brought it up about the face he's making. He's got the drool dropping on his face. I wasn't expecting it to be her dragging him through the hotel.
She's struggling.
I thought it was going to be like that butler or the bartender.
Well, remember the butler's the one that let him out.
We think
He was the one that was talking to him. So
let's go on to that. Let's talk about the storage room scene.
Okay, well, do you want to just go ahead and move on to the final scene?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Final scene. Grady lets Jack out of the storage room. Jack chops the door down while Wendy and Danny try to escape. Wendy cuts him, but Jack kills Halloran and pursues Danny. Wendy sees the hotel's ghosts. Jack chases Danny into the maze, losing him. Wendy and Danny escape on the Snowcat. Jack freezes to death. We see a 1921 picture of him.
All right, so let's talk about that storage room.
Okay.
Awesome dialogue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice he had a little snack? There was like wrappers in the background.
Yeah, he's like Oreos and
like
chips.
A whole can of something.
Yeah, he's passed out
He
in there.
made a little bed.
Yeah.
So, it's a paradox of how much time has went by. Like, it goes a month, then it says Monday.
You would think.
I think it's just been days. Like, I mean, like after it says a month, I think because it'll say like Monday and then it'll say Wednesday. I think it's only been a week with him.
I read that Stanley Kubrick did that purposely so the sense of time would be so sporadic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You couldn't keep track of it.
Yeah.
And
It couldn't have been very long
Yeah.
because they're still trapped.
Yeah, because like I said, I think
out, so.
after that month, because I think it's literally just a week that he completely goes crazy after a week. By the end of the movie, I think it's just been a week.
Well, Well, think about another aspect of time when he wakes up and he's having the conversation in the supposedly the butler outside the door. When it goes upstairs, Wendy's asleep in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she realizes. Because
He's
we already
threat now?
Well, he's no threat, but have we already seen where she goes out to the Snowcat?
Yeah, she went out there right away.
Yeah.
So she knows she can't get away.
Yeah.
So I think she just goes up there and just probably might be mentally exhausted, so she just passes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The real question here that nobody can seem to answer is who lets him out of the pantry?
I mean, I personally think it was Grady because Grady was the one that was talking.
He does have that conversation with him through
the door.
Seemingly through the door. It's in his mind, whatever.
But it's a theory. It's a spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
And we just said spirits can't touch you or.
Well, it's hard to have a
It's
a
hard.
set of rules for this because it's not clearly laid out what spirits can and can't do
Yeah.
in this sandbox here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because it was a double pin locked freezer. He had no way he would get out on his own. So
yeah, and when she's trying to lock that thing, she's like a total idiot. She doesn't know. Do you remember that? I was frustrated watching. I was like, "You idiot! It's right there."
you've been living there a month. Why is
You've
the
been in that
pin-
pantry every day, woman.
Yes.
How do you not know?
Why is the pin back in the lock? You're gonna be back in it in a few hours.
So there is another theory about who let him out. And one theory that I've read is that it's Danny. Danny lets him out.
I hadn't heard that.
Or not Danny, Tony.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Tony,
Oh, Tony.
the imaginary friend who lets him out. Because at this point, too, the boy's crazy, too.
Yeah.
And
The
Tony
boy
has
has
taken
gone
over.
complete dissociative disorder.
Well, I almost feel like the hotel has made his Shining just go off the charts.
Yeah.
And so it's literally like you said. What'd you say his name was?
Tony.
Tony is
Imaginary
completely
friend.
taking him over.
Yeah.
because Danny's shut down.
Yeah. Because there's that one scene, I don't know where it was in the movie, but where he's freaking out and Wendy runs in there and wakes him up, but then that's when Tony starts
He
talking.
says Danny's not here.
Danny's
And
not here.
there's a little line in there, I think, somewhere where he mentions Tony is mischievous or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And so one theory is that while he's having that conversation, right, with the previous butler or whatever, but it's actually the boy, as Tony lets him out, because eventually he wants to lead him to the maze because he knows his way around and Jack doesn't. And he feels like that's a way of escape. Now, I think it could work.
plausible.
It may be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
That's just for everybody to make up their own mind.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I guess the only reason I say that, I think it was Grady just because he was talking to him directly right there.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, it's unlocked.
yeah, that's what you
And-
would think.
Yeah. So I
You hear the chain click, click.
I mean, and we all know this. There are so many theories of this movie.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's endless.
anybody could really just say anything about this movie. And
So let's
add to
talk
the
about, he gets out, he gets the axe, and he storms up there to the apartment. But before that is the Red Rum.
Red Rum,
scene.
yes. This is when he takes her lipstick. Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
He takes her lipstick and writes it on there.
At first, I thought he
and-
was going to cut his finger.
Oh, yeah.
And do
Yeah.
it because he puts his finger
Well,
on that knife.
when the first time I saw it and he got the knife, I'm thinking he's going to kill his
He's
mom.
gonna kill him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of have a little bit of an expectation there, and then
But then again, you could also say that maybe he got that knife for her to protect her from Jack.
could be
because
yeah.
he knew Jack was coming.
And then he writes Red Rum.
Red Rum.
And he only
She
puts
sees
the
it in
first
the
star.
mirror.
And cause
right
she's
direction.
that's where she's asleep, and she wakes up, and she's like, "Danny," and that's when she sees the red rum in the
Because he
mirror.
starts screaming louder to wake her up. Red rum, red rum, red rum.
Yeah.
By the way, that is such a. I can relate to that scene so much as a parent because if you've ever woken up in the middle of the night with
a
your
kid in
kid
your
standing
face.
beside you, looking at you,
With a knife. in
It's
your face.
freaky.
no, like, my kids have never done that, but they've woke up sick or had a bad dream or whatever,
here in
and they're
your face.
right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is jarring,
Yeah, yeah.
to say the least.
Well, okay.
doing?
I will say this. Of course, don't have any kids, but Mimble has gotten in my face in the middle of the night, and I've woke up like she's just standing there staring at me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I understand what you guys are saying.
So is he warning his mom that he's coming to murder us and get ready? Is that the point of it?
I think he maybe is trying to help her.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that's why he grabbed the knife. At least give her a chance to defend herself.
Because Tony knows that, or Danny knows that she really is going to protect him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's self-preservation.
So this is where we see the famous scene of Jack chopping at the door, and then he gets in there, and so that's when they run to the bathroom, and
She puts him out the window. He slides down the snowdrift.
she can't fit through the window.
Yeah.
Oh my! Her
Olive
opening
oil
that
can't do
window- her opening that window is like driving me nuts. Like push it.
Well, and so, he's chopping at the bathroom door, and then that's when we get the famous scene of here's Johnny.
Yeah. Man.
And he starts reaching in, and that's when she cuts him.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I feel like that wakes him up just for a second because it scares him. It hurts him. And he wakes up just for a second, but then he goes right back into his craziness. I think just for a second.
That's possible. That's why he walked away.
Yeah.
Well, he walks away because he hears the snowcat.
Yeah.
The motor of the
outside.
snowcat. Okay, where? Okay, we haven't said where did he get that beautiful, never used axe?
Could have been like in a glass
Yeah.
case, at their.
So,
One of the fireman's axe,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so that scene where the cook, I can't think of his name,
Hollering.
the hollering, when he enters the hotel and he's, hey, anybody home? And then you see Jack come out from behind the podium and just nail him with that axe. That is another jarring scene because you don't see that coming.
Yeah.
he's perfectly hidden.
Well, and see, because of that, that's where Jack is it Jack right after that he sees Danny. He sees Danny run.
Well, he
because
keeps
hears-
hollering for him. Danny's hidden
Yeah.
in those stainless steel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he hides
He's
in those-
chasing him around, and he goes and he hides in that.
And the door wouldn't shut.
you know who borrowed that? Steven Spielberg
Park.
did that in Jurassic Park in the kitchen scene where the velociraptors are chasing the kids. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I was like, that's where Steven Spielberg got the idea.
And you know he don't move, but his dad hollers for him.
Well, I think
Finally, he bolts out of it.
I think when hollers yells, I think
Yeah.
that's when he runs.
Yeah.
And then that's when Jack sees him running.
Yeah.
Because he hits him with an axe, and there is like a sickening thud.
So I will tell
Now
you,
you hear that.
that is not in the book.
Okay.
Holleran does. I'm pretty sure they said Holleran does not die in the book.
So when you're watching this movie for the first time, do you think, oh, Holleran's here, he's going to rescue them? That's what I was thinking. Like, he's gonna come in and rescue the dad. I'm not thinking he's about to get axed down.
No.
I thought he was going to get the boy out.
I thought he was going to at least get the boy, but also get Wendy out, and then they're just going to run, and then Jack's stuck there.
Yeah.
I thought that's how it was going to go. But then axe out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is when Wendy. I think Wendy hears Holleran yell when he gets chopped. So this is when she starts going through the hotel and starts seeing all those different ghosts. Like there's a guy with a martini glass. He's got blood going down his face.
Well, I think that was what did
He was somebody in the party,
Yeah, in the party.
the 1920 party.
Yeah.
I thought that was the guy that blew his back of his head out with a shotgun.
The
guy who says, "A wonderful party we're having."
Yeah.
No.
Because it was just blood
Yeah, he had like blood going down it, like a drip, like a line of blood going
coming down his face. Yeah.
He was just one of the
Random person.
random person.
Rando.
And then we see, which I always find so weird, the whole dog.
The man in the dog costume, the bear costume.
yeah.
And then
That's just weird.
is a what the world moment.
Yeah.
It's like,
out of nowhere.
how, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's bizarre. It's totally bizarre.
it really is.
About that.
And then, we see Wendy. She freaks out. She sees that too. So she starts running even more. And she goes down to the main floor. And that's when the elevator opens. And the blood comes out. She's like,
It's like the hotel is pushing her in a certain direction. She turns one way, she sees something. She goes the other way.
yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about the chase scene in the maze,
Yeah.
because that's a scene you see it one time and you never forget it. It's such a stark. I mean, just the environmental blizzard scene that's taking place there.
Oh yeah, it's several feet of
That, and then you've got the maze. It's a great culmination of the whole movie, and it brings the two characters together there. And
Jack's
it's a-
hitting all those lights.
yeah. So the boy goes in first.
Which it did feel very cold. Like,
Yeah.
I felt the coldness in that scene.
Yeah.
Them running through that maze. Which also that snow, how they did the snow, it was I think they said it was styrofoam pieces and salt.
Oh,
That's how they made the snow.
so the boy goes in first, and then he gets to a certain point, and you notice he starts going backwards
Yes.
on his steps
Danny is very smart.
to hide his tracks. And then he sort of jumps back and hides.
Yeah, because he knows he's not going to be able to get away. Especially, Jack, even though he is gone.
Because he's
can
telling
still,
them, I know where you are.
yeah, he can still see,
be there
his
in a
tracks.
Yeah, and then he uses his tracks to follow them back out
Yeah.
of the maze.
Yep.
Because he jumps in that hole and you see him rubbing his hands.
Yeah. Danny's very smart.
That was very intelligent move for
Yeah.
a kid.
And then Shelley Duvall comes out, they get in this snowcat, and they leave.
Well, and you can see Jack. He literally he's starting to freeze to death because he's holding his jacket even more and more, and he's
He don't know how to get out.
Danny!
Yeah.
Well, they when he was getting the original tour, that the hotel manager said, unless you got an hour to try to figure out how to get out of our maze.
Yeah.
So, and he never did it. So
Well,
he don't
okay.
know how to get out.
So I will tell you another behind the scenes thing is a bunch of the crew did get lost in that maze.
Wow.
Like they actually got lost, so it took them some time to get back out of that maze because they kept on getting lost.
So that picture that you see of Jack's frozen face,
Yes.
that is now a meme.
Yeah.
And you see it all the time on social media now when somebody's complaining about
It's cold
it's
out.
cold outside. Or I mean, they use it for all different. Me waiting for the Panthers to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I feel like that's another jarring scene because we see Wendy and Danny in the Snowcat driving up the hill.
Yeah,
there,
there's
and then all of a
no-
sudden it just snaps and Jack's frozen and it's
Yeah.
daytime.
Yeah, it's daytime and he's dead.
It's dead.
I'm like,
And then
And then you get the hotel.
they go back into the
picture scene.
hotel.
Yeah. So, and then you see that picture of Jack Nicholson with the party from 1921.
he was doing that welcoming pose, like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another conspiracy theory with that picture that's
Okay.
in that documentary that he apparently is, whoever the original guy was doing a pose like the devil, a devil.
Oh, the Baphomet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
You ever read
Satanism.
that? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about
know what
that.
that is.
That's kind of it seems like it's kind of a stretch
is,
to
it
me.
Is it like a hand gesture?
Yeah.
But that Photoshop was done very, very well. Mm-hmm. So you guys talk about this. What's your take on that final picture?
So this
I'm lost on it.
this final picture is intentionally ambiguous. It's meant to be that way so that it's an open-ended question. The way that Inception ends. It ends in such a way that the viewer can debate forever what they think the movie is about. And that way the movie is timeless.
Yeah.
Because it never dies and the theories never die and the meaning that you might extract from it. I think that what the movie is communicating, like I mentioned earlier, I think the director's making a commentary on depravity being inside of us. We all have that potential to do great and horrible things, like
Right.
kill our family. We all have depravity in us. And if the circumstances are right and you're pushed and tempted, you will do it, even though you think that's
you can never
impossible.
do it.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to say. And so, in a bigger picture, I also think the movie is about historic violence, like the violence of the previous generations leaves a imprint or a trace.
Like a mark in time.
Yes, which is what The Shining is all about. And we as humanity have to acknowledge that and somehow overcome it.
Right.
Because the hotel is about a recurring cycle of violence, right? Like it's had a history of evil things happening there, and everybody that goes there has to confront the evil within them, and they all succumb to it.
Well, and it's
So-
almost like, something happened with that. I feel like something happened with the party back in 1921.
Yeah.
And then 30 years later or 60 or 40 years
50.
later,
It's 50.
50 years later, something happened with Grady. Grady killed his family in there.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, this happens.
Yeah.
So it's just like it keeps repeating.
Is it kind of like the whole idea they had with the ghost ship, that party, and everybody dies? Mm-hmm. And then everybody dies.
The Donner Party.
Dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like a lot of the ghosts are all from that 21 party.
I think another thing too is the hotel is a character in and of itself.
Yes. The hotel's alive.
The hotel is alive. It has psychic and an evil power about it. And I think the hotel feeds on souls, if you will.
yeah. Yeah, you
So
could say that. Yeah.
it attracts people there. It gets them tempted and turns them, shows their true corruption, and then gets them to commit evil. And then that's how it gains power. It's almost like a soul eater. And that's how these ghosts keep appearing, because these are people that are trapped there because of the evil that they've done.
Yeah.
And so
You think the hotel wanted Danny?
probably,
I mean, it definitely
his-
probably sensed his shining.
yeah.
Because the way the hotel, you could tell the hotel hated Halloran, right?
Yeah.
Especially the way the butler was describing him to Jack. That was
Well-
like a deep-seated hatred toward,
Well, because
Yeah.
he's got the shining.
He used
too.
the N word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was a shocker.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
He was saying that in the sense that this guy's coming to disrupt our plans. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah,
Like, we got to stop him. He's the evil one. So That's what I think the movie is about. That's what I think that picture suggests, is that now Jack will forever and always be.
His soul is part of the hotel.
He is attached to
Yes.
the Overlook forever, and
Yes.
that picture is like the evidence that he's never leaving now.
Yeah. So let me say this before we wrap up. I think you guys both have to watch Doctor Sleep. They go more into everything, the meaning. I shouldn't say meaning, but continue what's been going on in this hotel and stuff. So you guys
have to watch it.
Oh, yeah, you definitely have to watch it. It's really, really good. It does have its
Is
own
it better
story.
to watch this or the documentary first?
I mean, you could watch the documentary.
Does it matter?
No, because the documentary is a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but it has nothing to me. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Okay.
You know. Okay, you guys got anything else for the final scene?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do our famous category of...
Did not know that.
So this kind of goes back to what we've been kind of talking throughout the episode here. There were so many changes to the script during shooting. A scene change was made almost daily. That Jack Nicholson claimed he stopped reading it. He literally just stopped reading the script at all. He was like, something's going to change, and he said he would read only the new pages that were given to him each day. Nicholson also said that eventually, when presented with a revised scene, he would throw it in the trash, knowing another one was coming anyways.
Pretty cool.
Isn't that crazy? It was, just
And I'm
changed?
sure he improv'd a lot of those
yeah.
scenes. We know he improv'd Here's Johnny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Probably the best thing he could have done because it would have just confused him.
Yeah, definitely. So I kind of thought of a new category for us to do. It may not kind of work with any movie, but so basically I'm gonna say the category is, should this be remade? We can discuss it all together. Why or why not? Like, do you think this needs to be remade?
I'll answer. No.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to work with everything, but
I think this would be a great thing to see the deleted scenes. That would be cool.
yeah.
And I would enjoy that. I don't think it needs to be remade. There are
No.
some movies that are absolutely perfect the way they are. Ghostbusters 84,
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, Empire Strikes
Yep.
Back, Shawshank Redemption. We could go on.
Yeah, yeah.
This is one of those movies. It's absolutely perfect. It's timeless, even though it's dated as the 70s. You don't need to change anything about it.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't think it should be remade
Yeah.
because at the same time, even though it's dated, but it's still, there's very much a style of hotel today that would probably look identical to this hotel. So, I mean, it is, but it ain't. What really dated it? The vehicles.
Well, and a lot of people are wearing that type of clothing today, anyway.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming back. So,
Yeah.
because if you redid it today, it would lose all the luster and the mysteriousness of the movie, and it would stop the conversation about this.
And I think one thing that makes some of these old movies so great is because they had limitations on their technology and they didn't have all the special effects, and the necessity is the mother of invention. They have to figure out how to make a lot of these things work with great writing and awesome acting.
Yeah.
And they have to do it practically and not rely on CG and other things to make it a good movie.
And it would just be a CG fest nowadays, and it
Yeah.
would be
And the thing too is, if you remake this movie, who in the world are you going to get to replace Jack Nicholson?
you can't do.
I mean, how are you?
I mean, like I said, it would if they were going to replace it, it would have to be his son.
Yeah.
But I don't know how his son's acting is. He may look like him.
Yeah.
But
But you don't act like
I know that we have this debate every time they bring out a new Joker,
yeah.
right?
Right.
And we said that the same thing about Heath Ledger. And then then when they did the Joker movie,
Yeah.
they used Joaquin Phoenix, which, by the way, is kind of a parallel to this, a descent into madness.
Right.
Yeah.
A guy losing it. I just don't know that you could get somebody that would need to do another take of this.
Right.
Like, yeah, maybe the personality would be different, but like the Here's Johnny scene, that's lightning in a bottle.
Well,
That was a
nobody else could have done that scene.
accumulation of Jack Nicholson's life.
That's his personality coming out right there.
And you could not do another isolation movie today
Right.
the way they did it back then.
This movie has to be like pre-internet
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
for the isolation thing to work.
I'm going to read you guys something here real quick. It's what I was talking about that
Yes, talk about that alternate ending.
Okay. So this is what it says. It says, 1 week after The Shining had a mass market release, Kubrick decided to cut out a scene at the end of the film where Wendy and Danny Torrance are in a hospital and are told by Mr. Ullman, which that's the
Manager.
hotel manager, that police were unable to find Jack's body. Of the change, Robert Ebert said Kubrick was wise to remove the epilogue. It pulled one rug too many out from under the story. At some level, it is necessary for us to believe that the three members of the Torrance family are actually residents in the hotel during the winter. Whatever happens or whatever they think happens. However, Shelley Duvall disagreed and thought the scene was important and Hitchcockian. And this is what she said. I think he was wrong because the scene explains some things that are obscure for the public, like the importance of the yellow ball and the role of the hotel manager in the plot. Because in
he
that
brings the ball back.
he gives her the ball back.
Yeah.
Wendy is in the hospital with her son. The manager visits her, apologizes for what happened, and invites her to live with him.
Oh, the manager brought the tennis ball to her
Yes.
in the hospital?
Yeah.
That's weird.
She doesn't say yes or no. Then he goes in the hallway of the hospital and passes in front of Danny, who is playing on the ground with some toys. When he gets near the exit, he stops and says, I almost forgot. Okay, so he hands it to Danny and said, sorry, I have something for you. And he pulls from his pocket the yellow ball that the twins had thrown at Danny. It bounces twice. We spent a whole day filming so it would bounce the right way. Danny catches it, looks at it, and then lifts his eyes towards the hotel manager, stupefied, realizing that throughout the story he was aware of the mystery of the hotel. There was a Hitchcockian side to the resolution, and you know that Kubrick was crazy about Hitchcock.
So they're saying the manager knew about all this.
No, the boy.
Oh, Danny.
Oh,
Danny did.
oh.
Yeah, so that's the deleted scene in the alternate ending. I'm glad that's not included because I think one of the strengths of the movie is its ambiguous ending.
Yeah, he comes in like with a big fur coat on and everything.
Yeah.
You got something, Derek?
No, what I was just going to say was
okay.
I'm glad it's not in there because ambiguity is the strength of the ending.
Yeah.
And it leaves it open-ended so that the hotel lives on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to find out some way to sort of explain away what happened, and so they can just open up and have business all over again.
Yeah. All right. So let's. Doug, do you want to give your number one quote?
My number one quote is, I mean, of course, most people think it's Here's Johnny or, you know, I think it was when he looked up at Shelley Duvall and said, what room number is it? That's
Yeah.
my favorite line. He did. Just the way he delivered it, that was my favorite line.
That's a good one. Derek, number one quote?
So my main one isn't necessarily a quote because it's not said in the movie, but I think it's all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, that's
I
a line.
love that because it's such a stunner when you see that. Oh my gosh, this is what he's been writing the
How
entire
about her
time.
face?
Yeah,
When she realized.
yeah.
So I think my number one quote is when he's talking to Grady in the bathroom, and he says that, "No, sir, you've always been the caretaker here. You've always been here."
Yeah,
I think that's my favorite. One of my favorite. I think it's my top one there.
yeah. That's a stunner too.
Yeah.
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 What's he trying to say?
Derek, what about the best scene for you?
Best scene for me. Man, that's tough. So I'm going to say probably it's a tie. It's either the bathroom scene or it's the bar scene. To me, they're just so well acted, and Jack Nicholson is so crazy.
Yeah.
Those are just iconic moments in I think to me they just reveal so much about his character.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Doug, best scene for you?
It's definitely the bar. When you can feel the inner turmoil. He's trying to work it out in his head, and then you realize, well, all this is in his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely
Bar scene. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to give an honorable mention to that bar scene, but also I think the best scene for me is when you see Jack looking out the window, and he's just, it's literally like you're seeing him going into madness right there. Just him, just like he's just staring
Checking out.
just staring out the window, going crazy right there, just
Yeah.
out of it. You can tell he's out of it. Derek, what about favorite character? I know the cast is not very big, but
No.
Well, that's a tough one too. And I guess I'm going to go with everybody else and say it's Jack Nicholson because his performance is so electric, so memorable, and he was the right person. They cast this spot on. I mean, try to imagine anybody else doing this is like trying to picture somebody else being Marty McFly.
right.
Yeah.
Or somebody else being the Terminator.
Yeah.
Or somebody other than Marlon Brando being the Godfather. You just can't picture it in your mind. And I think that this is the performance of a lifetime. I think this is what will forever put him on the map. And for me, I think his performance in this thus made it a natural choice when Tim Burton is casting Batman to pick him as the Joker. It's like a 1-to-1, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole line when he said, "Wait till they get a load of me."
Yeah.
No.
Well, before I ask you, Doug, do you know why Jack got this part?
No.
It's because of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Because that's Stanley Kubrick as well.
Oh, he did that one too.
Yeah, he did that movie too. So
I haven't seen it.
He loved his. I hadn't seen it either. I hadn't seen
All
it.
right, y'all need to go watch that one.
Do you want to do that one? I mean,
Yeah.
It's in the 70s, ain't it?
It's not a
Yes, sir.
horror movie. It's
Yeah.
more of a psychological trip movie.
yeah.
Okay.
And it takes place inside an asylum. Y'all need to go watch
Okay. I'll put it on the
that
list.
for sure.
Okay, Doug. What about your favorite character?
It's definitely Jack Nicholson. Yeah. I mean, if he could Jack be, that's kind of hard. You think about it because Shelley Duvall.
I don't feel like she's irreplaceable. Like you
Yeah.
could find somebody else to play that role.
I don't. But at the same time, though, I think she did great in that movie.
Yeah, she definitely embodied like she was very like playing a very submissive wife to her own detriment.
Well, and if you notice at the beginning there when she was talking to that doctor, she was like, "Just everything was fine. Everything's fine. Just like that's all she kept on saying. Just everything's fine.
Yeah, she was
Everything's
trying
great."
to delude herself.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's Jack Nicholson.
Jack. Okay, I'm gonna go with Jack. I mean, I actually did like what's the chef or Holleran?
Holleran?
I did actually like his
Oh, yeah, I liked
character.
his character.
I wish he would have been a little more in it, but I think I'll give an honorable mention for him.
He was like the connection to the outside world.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's give our score and final thoughts. Derek, let's start with you.
So, as I already said, I'm not a horror guy. Like, it's just not my favorite genre, and I don't really watch a lot of horror.
That's okay.
But this one is transcendent. This one is beyond a normal horror movie, and I don't think there'll ever be a movie quite like it. I think its power is evident in the fact that it is echoed and referenced so much in pop culture. The acting is brilliant. The directing is brilliant. This movie is endless in terms of debate, meaning, conspiracy theories. The rewatchability of this movie is very, very high. I want to give it a 5 out of 5, but I'm going to step back. I'm going to give it a 4.5.
4.5
out of 5 for me.
Okay.
And I think there's a couple of things that, for me, hold it back from being a perfect movie. And I think some of it's just like some of the weird things in there that, like the dog suit.
Randomly in there.
They just, to me, it's a non sequitur. I like, what is this?
Yeah.
I have no explanation, no category for this.
Well, and it also goes back to, was that stuff in the book? Like, was that Stephen King doing that, or was that Stanley?
Yeah. So
would that be a scene you'd pick out of the book to put in the movie? Okay.
Yeah, there's a few moments like that along where they're so jarring that they do take you out of the movie. You're just like, what was that?
Yeah.
And for me, that's the only thing that holds it back from being
Just a little weird.
a perfect movie.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Doug, score and final thoughts?
I'm going to take it a step further. The same thing Derek was saying. I definitely couldn't give. I'm not as deep the way I thought about this movie as because it's definitely, you can get into this movie so far that it's endless.
Yeah.
Once you really start thinking about it, I was taking everything very much at face value, but still some of the stuff that happened just like completely, there was no need for it. And it just like, it popped up and like, because that was supposed to be, I felt like that would have been an opportunity to make Wendy, Shelley Duvall's character, go crazy too, where she could have become a part of the hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. The only thing I could say with that, the issue I would have with that is Danny would die too if Shelley wasn't there.
Yeah, but if they could have made Shelley fall into it with Jack, it would have been Halloran could have saved Danny.
But also Jack killed Halloran too.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's
like they could have been that one shift.
So what you're saying, Doug, is that maybe one change that might help is if she goes psycho as well. And she doesn't to a degree, but not to the point where she's useless.
Yeah.
Where, okay, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Halloran, we're going to stay here forever.
Yeah.
He would have saved Danny and got out of there.
Yeah.
That's who would have saved Danny.
She could have been like, "Oh, we are going to." She could have totally been on Jack and it's like, "Okay, we are going. I love it here," which is what she was saying at the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah. So I've like I told you guys earlier, I've actually, as I've been getting older, appreciate this movie so much more than I did when I was young, when I first saw it. Like Derek said, this movie is very rewatchable. I think it is one of those movies that's up there to being a perfect movie, but not quite, like Derek said. So I'm going to give it a 4.25, I'd say. I'll definitely watch it again, but it's not, I don't think it'll be one of those I'm going to put on every year. Maybe every couple of years. I'm like, okay, watch The Shining.
Watch it every
but then I have to watch Dr. Sleep too, because I love Dr. Sleep so much. I actually feel like I like Dr. Sleep more, but I'm not saying it's a better movie. Shining is definitely a better movie than Doctor Sleep. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.25. I think it's a great movie. It's very eerie. There's only a couple scenes I found that were scary. Not so much that are like, oh, but were very eerie. Like, you know,
Like, yeah.
Yeah, this is not typical horror. Like
no.
pop out, scary, jump scare you.
The only one was when he got Halloran with the axe.
That was
Yeah.
But even that, it's not like you're not going to sit in your seat
Yeah.
and spill your popcorn.
Yeah.
Type moment. But I think I would suggest anybody who's a serious lover of film, whether horror is your thing or not, you've got to see this movie. Watch it open-mindedly. Don't try and focus. If you're like Dougie's age, don't look at the dating of it. Like don't look at their
Caught up in
clothes
it,
or
yeah.
don't think about special effects. Don't compare it to a modern movie. Like watch it for what it is. Think about the story, the acting. Look at the art of it, and it's an incredible movie.
Yeah. Well, and see, I think also the only it's not even a downfall of the movie. I think a lot of people that read the book want to try to compare it to the movie so much, and I know that's a human thing to do, is to compare a book to the movie. It happens every single time. Yeah. But it's just you can literally say this is two totally different stories.
Well, ain't the book like that thick?
Oh, I don't know. I've never, like I said, I've never read it, so I've never even looked at it.
In my mindset, you have to think about the way, I have to judge a book by how thick it is.
How bad is this going to hurt my eyes?
Exactly.
So you're saying you never read The Stand? Is that what you're saying?
I'm exactly saying that. Exactly. There's not a copy of War and Peace at my house.
All right, so our combined scores, it came to a 4.08. So
Yeah, I agree with it.
that's a great score. All right. Hey guys, if you're loving this podcast, be sure to click follow on your favorite podcast app. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we're also on YouTube. And we actually posted our first video recently as well. Give us a review, 5-star rating. Maybe you can share an episode that you love with a friend. That's all for today's episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed our descent into madness in the world of 1980s The Shining. Join us next time on Video Rental as we tackle another classic movie. Until then, stay cinematic and remember, here's Johnny!
As long as the movie.